Okay, so I kind of just hit record here and I got the tabs all set up and everything. I got the window cracked. I'm a real person. I feel like I'm about to cough as well. But anyways, I remember this guy Bob Ross. I can't remember if it was like on PBS, but I remember as a child this guy had TV shows of him painting. And this it was peaceful at the time. I remember watching this guy kind of create this art and, watching it from start as it progressed into the final piece during the shows. A lot of these like outdoorsy kind of nature paintings, right? But anyways, that does kind of remind me of brings me back to my childhood a little bit. And then you think about the programming at that point too, how we resonate with a lot of these shows, right? Some other shows like, Gilligan's Island, I Dream of Jeannie, Bonanza. But anyways, this guy's trending because they're auctioning off some of his paintings to support public TV stations after federal funding cuts. Okay. 30 paintings created by this guy will soon be up for auction to defray the costs of programming for public TV stations suffering from cuts in federal funding. Ross, a public television stalwart in the 80s and 90s, dedicated his life to making art accessible to everyone, said Joan Kowalski, president of Bob Ross Inc. This auction ensures his legacy continues. Well, somebody's making money off of it, right? But they say the legacy to continue to support the very medium that brought his joy and creativity into American homes for decades. So, uh, regardless, somebody's making money off of this. And, that's usually how it goes. This guy's no longer with us, okay? This guy died. And, as part of the story, supposedly auctioned, they're going to auction this stuff to support public TV stations, right? So, let me look up real quick. I know it's in the story, but how did Bob Ross die? Lymphoma, a cigarette smoker for most of his adult life. Ross had several health problems over the course of his life. And well, I can't remember if I put that in here or not, but let's watch this. Right? Is this like a copyright? I don't know, but I'm not playing this whole 27-minute video. But you see, he starts out with like a blank canvas. And man, this was just so peaceful again watching this as a child. As you see this being created. And there you go. It looks like a tree of some sort. I don't know if this is going to be some kind of like winter theme or just maybe the vision from a nighttime perspective. I don't know. Is this somewhere in the woods? Is this Oregon or something? I don't know. But you get like a woodsy type of vibe here. And look how nice that is, right? So good stuff how he did that, but just very peaceful, man. And again, that brings me back to my childhood. But there was an episode right there. And again, I can't remember if it was on PBS or not. Probably, right? Cuz it's a public broadcasting systems or service, I think. But anyways, you don't have to quote me on that. But look at this right here, because we know this stuff is all with the language. Let me make sure I'm recording. We've heard of this guy right here, Aiden Ross. Of course, his birthday is in a few days. And these guys got the same last names. Okay? Aiden Ross, internet personality, online streamer, known for his collaborations with celebrities and live streams of the NBA 2K and Grand Theft Auto 5 video games. Previously streamed on Twitch, from which he was permanently banned in 2023. Of course, dude's birthday, you see the date of the article here, October 4th. Of course, Aiden Ross's birthday is October 11th. And we have a Bob Ross trending story. Man, this guy was a painter. So what are the chances that his name is going to connect with painting? In a fake world, the percentages are very high. I may get a message as well. You may hear my phone go off as I'm doing this. If I were like on here getting paid, if this was like a real platform, which I thought it was before and I got fooled, I would be dedicating everything to making everything just the best high tech quality. But this isn't a real platform. You have to take the information I give and be wowed by it. Not like, oh, is he funny? Did he make me laugh? Is he goofy? Is he just doing things to entertain people? That's not the case. You got to take the information here. You can laugh at me if you want. This is real truth right here. Look at this information I'm showing you. This guy's a painter. It even says painting right there in the title. And when you convert the letters to numbers, look at how it matches with the dude's name. 90 and 45 right there. These are base ciphers, okay? And I prove this daily on top of that. You even get that extra 45 right there. This is connected to the Mark Sanchez poke situation that's trending as well. Because Bonhams in Los Angeles will auction 3 of Ross paintings on November 11th. You see that? That's Mark Sanchez's birthday who's trending because he got poked. I hear he's getting... Wow, he's trending again. What did it say? I just briefly saw it. He got arrested already in this altercation with the truck driver, but I heard something like the truck driver suing him or something now. Something like that. But man, you get November 11th, and I'm like, wow, what are the odds? Because Mark Sanchez has that birthday, and I just covered that story. Look at this. Look at down at the bottom. As desired by President Donald Trump, Congress has eliminated $1.1 billion allocated to public broadcasting. Look at that, 1.1 like November 11th, 11/11. You see that right there? And all of the other details in there, whatever, right? Isn't that interesting right there? I think so. And there's going to be more there as well. I can't catch all of this stuff, but look at how it all connects from what I'm showing you. So this dude died. Well, look, yeah, this dude died 13 days. This auction will be 13 days after his death anniversary. So he died October 29th, or excuse me, his birthday, my bad. Womp, womp, womp. So this auction is 13 days after his birthday. You see that right there? And this auction is 130 days after his death date anniversary. 130 is like 13. See that right there? Taylor Swift is also trending, and she's connected to the number 13 probably more than any celebrity by far that I've covered. And that's even like that's like public knowledge too. You don't even have to look at a decode. She's got videos out there talking about her and the number 13, born on the 13th. Her album released on 10/3, like 13, which is trending right now. Right? And you see, this guy died on Independence Day here as well. And wow, his birthday is in a few days. I mean, come on, right? Right? Or a few weeks. But nonetheless, you see that 13 and 130 is like 13, right? He died of lymphoma. I told you. Lymphoma. 113 in the reverse cipher. In the original ABC 123 cipher, 103 like 13. 13, 130, 103, 113. Look at that. And that 103 date just passed, October 3rd. And I just mentioned it with the Taylor Swift connection with her new album, The Life of a Showgirl, releasing on that day. Check that out. Come on, right? $13 considered an unlucky number. Think about like Friday the 13th. This is that 117 I was talking about. I mentioned it in my last video. Lamar Jackson trending, right? All the 17s connected with him. His birthday is 1/7. That connected to the Super Bowl champion Arthur. Was it Arthur Jones? Yeah, Arthur Jones, most notably known for winning a Super Bowl with the Ravens. His death as well. We're popping up with these 17s and 117s. You got to look at those videos to see those, okay? But look at this. This guy died 117 days before his birthday. Bob Ross of lymphoma in 95. Look at how Bob equals 17. Ross equals 17 and 71. Taylor equals 71, like Taylor Swift as well. So look at how these same characters and these same trending stories pop up here. Okay. So yeah, quarterback equals 117. There's other stories I'm working on that I haven't released the videos where the 117 keeps popping up. Remember, kill equals 17 as well. This guy died of lymphoma. Arthur Jones, I think they said was heart conditions, if that was confirmed or not. Oh, there's those 17s right there. I didn't know I put those in here. There's the 17s right there with Arthur Willis Jones III, 107, like 17. Kill 17, sacrifice 170, like 17. There's that Lamar Jackson birthday, 1/7. So look at how that connects there. So in my next few videos, you'll see how this 117 hits again if you continue to watch my channel. This Baltimore Ravens connected death here also connects to the Raven, Edgar Allan Poe, and that poem, poem, right? Because Edgar Allan Poe, his death date anniversary is 10/7. It's not a coincidence, okay? So you get that 107 again. Here's another story. So I guess I did put a few of these in here. This is how much the 17's popping up lately. This is a local Arizona follow-up story. Police seek answers in fatal shooting at teen campers in Arizona National Forest. There's an update on that, which I dropped the video already. You can go check that out, and that connects to the Arthur Jones death as well, right there. But it's all of these 17s that keep hitting. So look at this. This stuff's all trending again. Look at those. Look at that, man. Look at these numbers. And I told you I have I think it's two other videos coming where these numbers all hit again, and you have more language connections in those with these trending stories. So this stuff is wild, man. And there's the article Tuesday, October 7th, Bob Ross trending with these paintings that are going to be auctioned off. Isn't that wild? You're going to have, other connections. I didn't really look deep into it, but this is, if you're decoding, if you think of the name Ross, you may think of like Diana Ross. You may think of like Rick Ross. You may think of Ross Stores, Ross Dress for Less. Okay. So just as a decoder, oh, and something else I didn't mention. Yeah, as a decoder, you look into stuff like that. You know what else I didn't mention? Look at this. Well, first look at my thumbnail. But look, Arthur Jones, Arthur, A-R-T, like art. Isn't that amazing? Arthur Jones, A-R-T-H-U-R, art, Arthur. Auctions got the A. Isn't that amazing? This death here of these two teens, Arizona A. Remember, a guy named Arthur founded the Cleveland Browns, and there's history with the Cleveland Browns, Baltimore Ravens. All of that history that I've mentioned and is well documented. And the Arthur who founded the Cleveland Browns, a guy named Art, I guess, bought the team from that Arthur-led group or whatever. So a guy named Arthur founded the Browns, and then a guy named Art Modell ended up buying the Browns and then moving the Browns from Cleveland to Baltimore. But then Cleveland was able to, I don't know how the language or how to state it, but they ended up kind of starting the team over again in Cleveland. So there's still a Cleveland Browns team, but the Cleveland was involved in the move to Baltimore. Whatever like the details are on that story, you get what I'm saying. If not, just go look into it yourself. But man, this stuff is with the language. So that's wild, huh? That's really wild, right? This guy's name is Robert Norman Ross, I guess his full name. There's probably some other painting connections somewhere. That art connection hit heavy with art, like painting, like Arthur. I'm just going to like scroll down this. And again, there's going to be stuff in here that I'm going to miss. That usually happens. And then when I end it, I'm like, oh crap. Right? The beloved Ross died in 95 of complications from cancer after 11 years. You see that? Congress eliminated 1.1 billion allocated to public broadcasting, 1.1 like 11, and then the auction on 11/11. Come on, man. Come on, man. You know what I'm saying? DC equals 11. This 30 paintings. There might be something with that. Stuff is all with the numbers, and then they just insert everything else later based on the language. That's my decode. It looks like Joan Kennedy died up there. Is that Ted Kennedy's first wife? Remember, Joan is a female version of John, if I'm not mistaken, like Donald John Trump. If I'm not mistaken. Bob Ross. Paintings to be auctioned to support public TV stations after federal funding cuts. That's what they say anyways. That's my decode. Until next time.